Welcome to ELVPrasad Techzone. Those who are visiting my channel first time, please subscribe to my channel so that you would get notifications when new videos are uploaded. And also please check the video sequence because you may not get a current video without watching earlier videos. And links to the earlier videos would be provided in the description. Now let's get into the topic Hadoop 2.0. Before this, we had seen Hadoop 1.0 architecture, and even we had seen the disadvantages and limitations of 1.0, which are like after the uh, checkpointing, last transaction details would be lost uh, if in case of the name node failure. The checkpointing generally happens in the secondary name node in case of 1.4 architecture, and the number of data nodes was limited to 4000 in 1.0, and default block size was 64 MB, and cluster management also be taken care by the map reduce job. These were the disadvantages and limitations related to 1.0, which were overcome in the Hadoop 2.0 architecture. Now let us see, this is the architecture. Majorly, what are the major advantages here? The we had seen like the major disadvantages, last transaction details after checkpointing would be lost, right? So that was overcome with the by journal nodes. Here journal node is introduced where edit log files are maintained. In 1.0, edit log as well as the FS image files were maintained in the name node. But here, that edit log file is moved to the journal node, and the secondary name node is renamed to the start my name node here. So with the journal node, here it maintains edit logs, and there is a continuous update will happen from name node to the journal node, and journal name to the start my node, and start my name to the again FS image of name node. So this is a continuous process. There would be no loss of data if even in case of name node failure. So that was overcome with the journal node, and one more is zookeeper service that was introduced here. It takes care of the synchronization of nodes in the Hadoop cluster. Name node and the various data nodes would be synchronized continuously with the zookeeper service. But in 1.0, how the heartbeat would be taken care by the name node itself for all the data nodes. So that the same kind of service would be taken care by the zookeeper service, but internally it will take care of all the nodes synchronization. And one more is the resource manager. This one here, resource manager. It will take care of allocation of resources, means what are the resources we need in case of various data nodes while for processing the data. So that would be taken care by the resource manager here, and this partitioning block size that is increased to the 128 MB in Hadoop 2.0 architecture. And here when we so these are the things just we have seen like how name node and start menu node and the data nodes and data. And one more thing is there is a lot of changes in the data node architecture. So here we have the node manager and application master and container. Within the container we have map and reducer. So this is the major change in the data node. So the same thing is mentioned here: node manager, application master, and container will have the map and reduce. And so zookeeper service and journal node and HDFS. So here here we call it as a HDFS file system, and here maximum nodes supported in Hadoop 2.5 is 10,000 nodes. Uh, so we'll see the process. What will happen now? One client submits a job to the Hadoop cluster. So here, once the job is submitted by the client, then in the Hadoop cluster to the Hadoop. So here the data in the name node that would be partitioned across various data nodes based on the partition data and all other. Here, resource manager will take care of the allocation of resources within the data node. but here the data will be partitioned across various data nodes, and within that again here application master that would be created here, this one, and uh, application ID would be created for this, and this information would be passed to the resource manager, and that resource manager again would communicate to the node manager. In that case, this node manager, once it gets the communication from the resource manager, it creates a container in the data node. So once this container is created, at this time this application ID is passed from data node, this node manager to the resource manager, and resource manager to the client node. So then client resubmits the job with the application ID, so that here again the process map and reduce pages operations will be performed in the container, and finally the combined result from data nodes would be sent back to the name node and to the client. So this is the flow in case of Hadoop 2.0 architecture. But here we had seen new terms like application master and container. Actually, one thing is here, this application master is available as long as the processing will happens within the container. So this application master is available as long as the uh, job processing is happening within the container in map and reduce phases. Once this processing is done, container memory will be released, and this application master will also be released. This is the state of this application master and container in the data nodes. This is how I mentioned here how this application execution takes place, and how the client submits a job, and how that will be processed in the application master and container, and finally that will be sent back to the client and resubmits, and combined result will be sent back to the resource manager and client. This is how the process in Hadoop 2.0 architecture. This is from client to name node, and the resource manager will take care of this thing. So this synchronization will be taken care by the zookeeper service. And here in case of name node failure, this journal node this synchronizes this start by name node and name node, and this journal node. So it is a continuous process, and once we get the job is submitted, and within that we had seen how it will happen within the various data nodes, and finally the combination will be sent back to the client from this hierarchy. This is how the process changed, and we will discuss more videos related to big data in the coming videos. So like, share and subscribe to ELVPrasad Techzone.